They worked together for years, but behind the scenes, the NCIS stars were hiding shocking secrets. From bitter divorces to secret weddings, we're finally exposing what the cameras didn't show. You won't believe who's been married 4 times, who almost died alone at home, and which star is dating someone 12 years younger. The real-life romances of your favorite TV agents are even more dramatic than the show. Cote de Pablo. Cote de Pablo became a household name playing Ziva David on NCIS, but off-screen, she's lived a quiet, deeply personal life. But one relationship became well-known. For 15 years, she was with Diego Serrano, an Ecuadorian-born actor born on February 7, 1973, in Quito. He appeared in shows like The Young and the Restless, Ray Donovan, and Insecure. Their relationship began in 2000 and lasted until June 2015. What made their dynamic stand out was the contrast between them. In a rare 2012 interview with Prevention, De Pablo said, "He's the worst influence that I have ever had in my entire life, and I love him for it." She meant it affectionately. She explained that while she would stick to routines, like eating chicken with broccoli, he would push her to let go a little, to have fun, to try the chocolate cake instead. He was spontaneous. She was steady. He brought the chaos she never invited, and somehow that worked, until it didn't. Over time, the differences that once balanced them started to pull them apart. She described herself as someone who loved hosting friends at home, someone who found joy in quiet nights and small gatherings. Serrano, on the other hand, thrived in loud places with loud music. He wanted to dress up, jump in the car, and go out dancing. She said, "I could not be further away from that." Eventually, those different rhythms became too hard to sync. After they separated in 2015, De Pablo gave an interview to Caras, a Spanish-language magazine, where she opened up about what came next. She spoke about wanting children in the future, saying, "The children will arrive, but the right person and pieces have to be presented." She didn't sound rushed. She sounded thoughtful, waiting for the right fit, not just anyone. Since then, little has been known about her romantic life. She stays away from social media, which makes her one of the rare celebrities who manages to keep the world at a distance. Even while the public stayed curious about her personal life, her focus remained on her work. On NCIS, she didn't just act, she pushed herself physically. She did her own stunts and got injured more than once. At one point, a gun barrel hit her in the face during filming. On another occasion, she was cut by shrapnel. She kept going. She also brought something else to the show: her voice. She performed Temptation for the NCIS soundtrack, showing a different side of her talent that audiences hadn't seen. Off-camera, De Pablo's beliefs and values run deep. She once shared, "I have friends who say to me, 'How come you believe in God?' I go, 'How can you not?'" She spoke about the beauty she's seen in nature, how it reflects something bigger, something divine. That sense of connection to the world around her shapes how she moves through life. For years, rumors followed her, especially about an off-screen relationship with her NCIS co-star Michael Weatherly. Their chemistry on the show fueled the speculation, but both actors denied it. Her long relationship with Serrano added weight to those denials. It wasn't something she even entertained publicly. Sean Murray. Long before Sean Murray became known as Special Agent Timothy McGee on NCIS, his life was already full of movement and change. As a military kid, he spent his early years living on Navy bases around the world, in Australia, Singapore, London, and across the United States, thanks to his father's job as a Navy captain. That constant travel shaped his view of the world, but everything shifted when his parents divorced. Sean was 15. He and his Australian-born mother, Vivian Lee, moved to Los Angeles to start over. Sean met Carrie James in 2004 at a Halloween party hosted by a mutual friend. They had both just come out of past relationships, and their connection grew fast. After running into each other again at a New Year's party, they started dating seriously. By June 2005, Carrie was already asking where things were going. Sean proposed 2 months later in August, in a moment that was sweet but slightly offbeat. Carrie shared on the Wedding Dish podcast that she came out of the bathroom to find Sean on one knee with a ring, except the ring didn't fit. He had guessed her size by her shoe size, and it was way too big. They didn't want a long engagement. The couple planned their wedding in just 3 months, picking Thanksgiving weekend to make sure they'd always have time to celebrate their anniversary. They married on November 26, 2005, in a traditional ceremony at a country club, after briefly considering eloping. Carrie wore a strapless dress and her hair in an updo. The choice to have a full wedding was mostly for their mothers, but it became a meaningful day for both. Carrie was already building a life of her own. She earned a bachelor's degree in social work from San Francisco State University between 1995 and 1999, then went on to get her master's in education leadership from Antioch University in 2002. She worked as a teacher and later started her own pajama business while still in grad school. Alongside that, she became known for her work as an activist and entrepreneur. They welcomed their first child, a daughter named Kay Ryan, in 2007. 3 years later, in April 2010, their son River James was born. The family stayed close, even appearing together on screen. In 2022, during NCIS Season 19, Kay guest-starred in the episode The Brat Pack as a tech-savvy teen who gets caught up in a murder case. Seeing Sean and his daughter on screen together gave fans a rare glimpse of their off-screen bond. Through the years, their marriage seemed strong. Sean often posted loving messages to Carrie on social media. In 2020, he shared a Mother's Day tribute calling her incredible. In 2021, Carrie celebrated their anniversary with a post that read, "Sweet 16 for us. Happy day, we tied the knot." Their connection looked solid from the outside, and they shared nearly 2 decades of marriage, something rare in Hollywood. But in March 2024, after 19 years together, they quietly separated. Carrie officially filed for divorce on March 29th at the Stanley Mosque Courthouse in Los Angeles. She cited irreconcilable differences. The news came as a shock to fans, especially since she had recently posted about a birthday dinner with Sean, which gave no hint of trouble. The end of their marriage marked the close of a long chapter. 19 years, 2 kids, and a deep connection shaped both of their lives. Pauley Perrette. Pauley Perrette became a household name thanks to her role as Abby Ciuto on NCIS, where she played the cheerful forensic scientist for 15 seasons from 2003 to 2018. But behind the scenes, her real life has been filled with emotional highs, painful lows, and a constant search for peace in the middle of chaos. Her first and only marriage was to musician Coyote Shivers. They got married in 2000. What started as love turned into something darker. The marriage collapsed within 4 years, and the divorce was finalized in 2006. After that, things didn't get easier. Perrette filed for a restraining order against Shivers, claiming he had stalked her for years. She once described her experience as being stuck inside a horror movie she never signed up for. She said he showed up at events uninvited and even pretended to be someone else online, just to harass her. The situation kept getting worse. Shivers was arrested for violating the restraining order and sentenced to 90 days in jail. At the time, he was already on probation for an earlier violation of the same order. Even with a permanent restraining order in place, Perrette said she never truly felt safe. "Those can only do so much," she explained, highlighting just how powerless legal protections can feel when someone is determined to cross boundaries. After that traumatic chapter, she tried again. She found love with cameraman Michael Bosman. They dated for 4 years and got engaged, but they didn't get legally married. Instead, they held a commitment ceremony with family and friends. Perrette explained that they chose not to marry until same-sex couples could legally do the same in California. Her decision reflected her deep support for LGBT rights. But by 2008, the relationship ended. Later, she started dating former British Royal Marine Thomas Arkley. They got engaged in 2011 after about a year together. Just like before, she said they wouldn't marry until marriage equality became law. Proposition 8 was overturned in 2013, but despite that change, their wedding never happened. By 2019, it was confirmed the relationship had quietly ended. But her personal life wasn't the only source of drama. Her exit from NCIS in 2018 shocked fans. At first, she kept the reasons vague. Then, things changed. In 2019, when fans asked if she might return to the show, she posted a message that left no room for doubt. "No, I am not coming back. Ever. Please stop asking. I am terrified of Harmon and him attacking me. I have nightmares about it." The message pointed to serious conflict with Mark Harmon, her co-star, and one of the show's central figures. The post hinted at a behind-the-scenes story far more intense than anything that had played out on screen. Mark Harmon. Mark Harmon became a household name through NCIS, but his real success might be what he built off-screen. Since 1987, he's been married to Pam Dauber, best known for Mork and Mindy. In an industry filled with breakups and public drama, their quiet, steady relationship stands out. They met in the mid-1980s when a mutual friend tried to arrange a group date. Harmon wasn't interested in waiting around. He asked for her number and called directly. While he was leaving a message, Dauber was listening in on her answering machine. She picked up, and they went out that same night. From then on, they were together. 1 year later, on March 21, 1987, they got married in a school chapel in Studio City, California. Right after, they flew to Vancouver for their honeymoon. Harmon was already there, filming After the Promise for CBS. Their first son, Sean, was born on April 25, 1988. Their second, Ty, came on June 25, 1992. Sean followed in his father's footsteps and appeared on NCIS as a young Gibbs in flashback scenes starting in 2008. Ty became a screenwriter instead. Throughout it all, privacy was their priority. Harmon has said they stay home a lot. No social media, no overexposure. Their sons aren't online either. Dauber explained it clearly. If you don't want the press to take over your life, you have to keep certain things to yourself. She made a deliberate choice to step back from acting to focus on their family. Harmon adjusted his career too. After missing his son's first steps while filming in New Guinea, he promised he wouldn't take jobs that pulled him too far from home. Television gave him a balance that movies didn't. Even with the long NCIS schedule, he could still be around on weekends, making pancakes for his kids. When asked about the secret to their long marriage, Harmon says there isn't one. They laugh, they talk, they respect each other. Getting married in their 30s helped too. By then, the wild years were behind them. He also believes their differences made them stronger. They don't always like the same things, but that kept the relationship interesting. Through it all, Harmon has stayed grounded. Despite the fame and long hours, he's never lost sight of what matters. "I'm so fortunate," he said. "I don't ever wake up not thinking that." Michael Weatherly. Michael Weatherly was already a household name thanks to his role as Tony Dinozzo on NCIS when he met the woman who would change his life forever. It was 2007 in a bar in Vancouver. He noticed her almost immediately. Her name was Bojana Jankovic. She was striking, intelligent, calm. He later said he kept glancing over and hoping she'd look back. When she finally did, that moment turned into something much bigger. They started talking. She mentioned she was planning a trip to Paris with friends. Weatherly didn't waste time. He flew all the way to Paris just to take her on their first date. That bold move worked. They began a long-distance relationship that lasted 2 years. Eventually, Bojana moved to Los Angeles, and on September 30th, 2009, they got married. Bojana Jankovic wasn't just someone standing beside a famous actor. She had built a world of her own. Born on May 7, 1983, in Belgrade, Serbia, she moved to Canada and pursued a career in medicine. She became a double board-certified physician in internal and integrative medicine. She also specialized in functional medicine, nutrition, and mindfulness. Her career earned her recognition across the field. She won multiple patient satisfaction awards at Cedars-Sinai and was named a Southern California Super Doctors Rising Star in 2016 and 2017. From 2018 to 2022, she was listed as a top doctor and super doctor in New York. Before she became a doctor, Bojana actually worked in television in Serbia. She was a writer and assistant director. Her credits included the 2007 short film Do Not Leave Me with Strangers and the 2009 TV series TVWWW. Today, she appears as a health expert on shows like Today, MSNBC, and Rachel Ray. Outside of work, she's just as dynamic. She's a competitive Latin ballroom dancer and serves on boards for several nonprofit organizations, including the Environmental Working Group and Lifeline New York, which supports Serbian children and hospitals. Michael and Bojana have 2 children. Their daughter Olivia was born on April 10, 2012. Their son Liam arrived about a year later. The family lives in Manhattan, where Weatherly says he's fully focused on being a husband and father. He once said, "My kids and my marriage are the things I'm proudest of." He also made it clear that work stays at work. At home, he's all in with his family. But things haven't always been smooth. After getting married, Weatherly struggled with his health. In his 40s, he gained a lot of weight and reached 250 pounds. That led to sleep apnea, which made him snore so loudly that he had to sleep in separate rooms during Bojana's pregnancies just so she could rest. It was a difficult period that showed a more vulnerable side of someone usually known for confidence and charm. Before Bojana, Weatherly had a string of high-profile relationships. He was married to actress Amelia Heinle from 1995 to 1997. They had a son named August, born in 1996. After the divorce, he dated supermodel Rachel Hunter in 1999. That didn't last long. In 2000, he began a relationship with Jessica Alba after meeting on the set of Dark Angel. They got engaged in 2001, but ended things in 2003. Alba later said their 12-year age gap made the relationship difficult. Looking back, Weatherly has been honest about his mistakes. He once said his first marriage was a painful time in his life, but it taught him what not to do. When he married Bojana, he knew he had to show up differently. He said, "I wanted to do my very best to ensure that rupture wouldn't happen again." David McCallum. David McCallum had a very different life, but one that was no less complex. For many, he will always be remembered as Dr. Donald Ducky Mallard on NCIS. But his life went far beyond that role. He married actress Jill Ireland on May 11, 1957. They had 3 sons, Paul, Valentine, and Jason, who was adopted. At first, it seemed like the perfect Hollywood marriage. But things began to fall apart in the 1960s. During the filming of The Great Escape in 1963, Ireland met Charles Bronson. There's a story that Bronson told McCallum directly that he would one day marry his wife. That's exactly what happened. As McCallum's fame grew with his role in The Man from UNCLE, Ireland started feeling left behind. While he was filming in Europe, she was visiting Bronson on the set of The Dirty Dozen. McCallum found out and was devastated. Their marriage ended in 1967. Ireland married Bronson the following year and stayed with him until her death in 1990 from breast cancer. That could have been the end of McCallum's happiness, but it wasn't. In 1965, during a photo shoot for Glamour magazine, he met Catherine Carpenter, a fashion model. She changed everything. One friend said McCallum had become withdrawn after his split from Ireland, but meeting Catherine brought him back to life. They got married on September 16, 1967, in Valley Stream, New York. Nearly 2,000 teenage fans showed up outside the church just to see him. That marriage lasted 56 years, right up until McCallum's death in 2023. They had 2 children, Peter and Sophie, and built a life rooted in loyalty and love. McCallum once said, "We are 2 halves of a whole. The best thing about a marriage is you find out what the other person wants and make damn sure they get it." He meant it. But there was deep pain in his life, too. In 1989, his adopted son Jason died from an accidental drug overdose. He was 27. Jason had struggled with addiction for years. McCallum later said, "You never come to terms with the death of a child." The grief turned into frustration, and then into a quiet kind of acceptance. He never stopped thinking about it. Even after that tragedy, David and Catherine stayed strong. They became involved in causes that mattered to them, including organizations tied to the Marine Corps. Catherine's father fought at Iwo Jima. Her brother was killed in Vietnam. Service was in her family, and McCallum supported her every step of the way. David McCallum died on September 25, 2023, just a week after celebrating his 56th wedding anniversary. He was 90 years old. His legacy lives on in his work and in the quiet love story that helped shape the final decades of his life. Wilmer Valderrama. Wilmer Valderrama met Amanda Pacheco in 2019 through a mutual friend. From the start, he felt a deep pull toward her. He said it felt like gravity. Though he was busy filming NCIS, he made time. They were first seen together in April 2019, shopping in Los Angeles. 2 months later, they attended Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner's wedding in France. On January 1, 2020, after just 8 months of dating, he proposed on a beach in San Diego. They shared the same caption on Instagram. "It's just us now." January 1, 2020. Pacheco wore a 4-carat pear-shaped diamond worth up to $100,000. By December that year, they revealed they were expecting a child. Their daughter, Nakano Oceana, was born February 15, 2021. She shares her birthday with Pacheco's late mother. Pacheco said it felt like her mother was there. Amanda works as a model and certified scuba dive master. After losing her mother to ovarian cancer, she became an advocate for awareness and fundraising. This new chapter with Valderrama is far from his past. His 6-year relationship with Demi Lovato ended in 2016. They never got engaged. Their 12-year age gap later became controversial. Lovato addressed it in her song 29 and called the relationship unhealthy. Today, Valderrama and Pacheco are expecting their second child and remain focused on family. Emily Wickersham. Emily Wickersham joined NCIS in 2013 and quickly became a fan favorite as Ellie Bishop. But her personal story outside the show has had just as many turns. On November 23, 2010, she married musician Blake Anderson Hanley on Little Palm Island in Florida. The reception took place at the Bath and Tennis Club. Hanley was the lead singer of indie band Ghost Lion and also worked as a domestic violence lawyer. The couple stayed mostly private. Hanley had no public social media, and Wickersham rarely shared their life online. In December 2018, after 8 years of marriage, they quietly divorced. No reason was ever given. Hanley moved back to Florida and later called the experience a period of heartbreak. Life moved forward for Wickersham. In June 2021, she posted a photo with actor James Badge Dale, confirming a new relationship. Dale is known for his work in The Pacific, The Departed, 1923, and 24. Their son, Cassius Wickersham Dale, was born on December 30, 2021. The couple later married on September 27, 2024, and welcomed a second child named Zephyr Badgett Dale. Wickersham left NCIS in May 2021 after 169 episodes. She announced it on Instagram just before starting her next chapter as a mother. Today, she shares glimpses of her family life online, showing love and appreciation for her new path. Maria Bello. Maria Bello played Jack Sloan on NCIS from 2017 to 2021, but her life beyond the screen has been marked by honesty, growth, and deep love. Born April 18, 1967, she began dating acclaimed chef Dominique Crenn after sending her a message on Instagram in April 2018. At first, it was about getting a reservation at Crenn's restaurant, Atelier Crenn in San Francisco, but it turned into something more. They bonded over humanitarian work in Haiti. By December 29, 2019, they were engaged during a trip to Paris. They made their first public appearance as an engaged couple at the Oscars in February 2020. Their wedding took place May 12, 2023, at the Montage Los Cabos in Mexico, with 140 guests. Bello wore a Dior dress from the Frida Kahlo collection. Crenn wore a white vest and pants. Their first dance was to Dancing Queen by ABBA. Their journey hasn't been easy. Crenn was diagnosed with breast cancer not long after they got engaged. Bello called their story the journey of 3 C's: cancer, COVID, and commitment, in her 2015 book, Whatever. Love is love. She questioned traditional labels around identity and relationships. She once told her son she was dating a woman, and he simply replied, "Whatever, Mom." Love is love. That line became the heart of her book. Bello has also opened up about bipolar disorder and suicidal thoughts in her 20s. She's continued her humanitarian work through We Advance, the group she founded in Haiti. Together, she and Crenn live a life grounded in purpose and love. Brian Dietzen. Brian Dietzen has played Dr. Jimmy Palmer on NCIS since 2004 and has quietly become one of the show's most dependable stars. That same year, he married Kelly Scobie. They've kept their personal life low-key, but their marriage has lasted over 2 decades. They have 2 children, a son and a daughter. Brian rarely posts about them, but he once showed custom golf wedges with their names on them, musical notes for his daughter, and an Overwatch logo for his son. In July 2023, he posted vacation photos from Greece, calling it the trip of a lifetime. But behind the scenes, Dietzen has faced real danger. In 2020, he suffered a dual embolic stroke. He was alone at home and couldn't move his fingers. He used a voice command to call his wife. She got him help in time. The stroke passed after 3 hours and left no long-term effects. That same year, he had heart surgery. The health scares pushed him to take more control of his work. He became the first NCIS actor to co-write episodes, including The Helpers in Season 19 and Old Wounds in Season 20. After the death of his co-star David McCallum in 2023, Dietzen wrote a tribute episode honoring him. Off-camera, he lives in Los Angeles with his family and continues to grow his role behind the scenes, proving that resilience can reshape a career. Rocky Carroll. Rocky Carroll has played director Leon Vance on NCIS for over 15 years, but at home, he's just Roscoe Carroll. He married architect Gabrielle Bullock on May 25, 1996. Their marriage has lasted nearly 3 decades, a rare thing in Hollywood. Bullock is not only one of just 404 licensed black female architects in the U.S., she's also the head of global diversity for Perkins & Will in Los Angeles. She splits her time between leading design projects and building inclusive culture at her firm. She also serves as vice president of the Southern California chapter of the International Interior Design Association. Raised in the Bronx, Bullock studied at the LaGuardia High School of Music and Arts before shifting to architecture. She graduated from Rhode Island School of Design in 1984, as only the second black woman to do so. She and Carroll have a daughter named Elissa, sometimes reported as Alyssa. While Carroll is a TV star, Bullock keeps a low profile. She once joked, "Google me and you get Rocky Carroll." Despite their different fields, both have built careers defined by excellence. Carroll has also directed episodes of NCIS and previously starred in Chicago Hope and Rock. In interviews, he said that no matter how much power his character holds on screen, at home, taking out the trash still matters more. Their relationship is steady and private, a rare kind of Hollywood success story.